Comedian Veer Das, whose show was to be held in Bengaluru, was cancelled after opposition from the right-wing groups. The Hindu Jan Jagrati Samiti had submitted a complaint requesting his show to be cancelled as he had heard the Hindu sentiments. That's the word coming in. We'll try and connect with my colleague and get more details on this entire story. Veer Das, a famous comedian. Akshara, my colleague with us on the broadcast. Akshara, tell us the reason for cancellation. Has it been cancelled just because Hindu groups didn't like it, or there were other reasons?
Well, a complaint was given 3 days back by a right-wing Hindu group, Hindu Jana Jagrati Samiti. They had stated that earlier Veer Das had conducted such shows in abroad and India as well, where he had spoken about Hindu religion in a bad manner and a denigrating way, and not just about Hindu religion. They also alleged that he had spoken about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and one thing they pointed out was that he had made derogatory remarks against women, where he referenced one of the lines said by Veer Das in a comedy show, wherein he is seen saying that we worship women during the day and rape them during the night. So these are the reasons that was stated by the head of the Jana Jagrati Samiti, a right-wing group who had given a complaint. So right after the complaint, now the show stands cancelled here in Bengaluru, which was to be held at 5:30 p.m. today here.
All right, so the show has been cancelled. Is there any reaction that has come from Veer Das' team so far, or the Congress party or others in the state? Have they reacted to the story so far?
Well, as of now, we don't have any reaction from the comedian Veer Das or the organizers or the Congress itself. So we have to wait and watch what the reaction will be and what reason will be given by the organizers. Is it the complaint that was given or any other reason? We have to wait.
All right, we'll try and figure out more details on this very important story. But as my colleague is reporting that the show of the famous comedian Veer Das has been cancelled. It was supposed to be held in Bengaluru. It has been cancelled after some complaints from the right-wing groups. Veer Das has been in line of fire for some kind of content or comedy that he has put out in the public domain. A lot of right-wing groups have said that he has hurt the Hindu sentiments, or his line of content or the comedy that he puts out is offensive to the Indian society, and that's why he's not welcome. Multiple protests earlier also have been seen at some other locations where he tried to put out his shows. Veer Das is well acclaimed for his genre of comedy and content, the satire that he has put out on national and international platforms. Sanket Yenagi of the Congress party is joining us on the broadcast. Sanketji, good evening. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Reports coming in that the show of Veer Das has been cancelled in Bengaluru after opposition from the right-wing groups. How do you see this, sir?
So everyone has got a right to freedom of speech and expression. That is fundamental right under Article 90 and 1A of the Constitution of India. If someone wants to express by way of gestures, by way of speech, comedy, be it any content, it is his fundamental right. And he is a citizen of India. And when he wants to conduct a show or organize a show, it should not be cancelled at all just because it is and someone opposes it, someone protests for it, unless there is a cause of action for it. I can understand a situation if he has a content which is invoking certain things or the creating public order issues or the issues of a decency, then unless it is verified or unless it happens, no action can be taken. It cannot be preventive. And no act or no provision of law permits the government or authorizes the government to, in a preventive manner or preventive way, someone's show could be prohibited like this. This is unknown to law. He has got a right. How can the government anticipate that he wants to say something which is communally spreading disharmony and all? It cannot be. He may or he may not. How can the government predict everything and prohibit all the activities just because someone protested? Right to protest is a fundamental right, I understand. But right to protest for a right cause, no. Unless the incident has not taken place, incident has not happened, there is no cause of action to protest. And there is no cause of action for the government to prohibit such things. And this is culturally damaging the society. And I would say this is not something which the society can accept or pardon the government. The society have a right. It could be an entertainment, it could be a art or a culture, could be anything else. It should not be prevented like this. And in my opinion, government has to reconsider its opinion and it has to withdraw. And it is his fundamental right, and the government has to respect his fundamental right.
Well, sir, I agree with most part of what you've said. You'd also remember the case of Asim Trivedi in this country. This country has a patchy record in history when it comes to comedy, when it comes to political satire. And whichever political party is in power, sometimes their support groups seem to have a right to get offended. But I don't think any political party, including the Congress, can claim a moral high ground on this. Can you, sir?
So, when it is a matter of one's fundamental right, courts have always reminded the government in power that it has to protect their fundamental right, and there is no excuse for it. Be it anything else, even if it is a Congress government or a BJP government or be it any government, but it has to protect it. But unless there is a history of spreading hatred, the preventive action could be taken. Here it is not a case wherein the communal clashes have erupted because of his speech when he has not made any speech.
Well, sir, I only wish as a citizen of this country that the views of the opposition parties remain same when they're in power or whether they are out of power. But Veerdas show has been cancelled. We'll await more details on that whether the local administration or the district administration had any legally tenable reasons to cancel the show, or was it because merely certain right-wing groups were protesting. That story and much more on the other side of a quick break. Stay tuned.